Then don't ask kids to just get you high grades or to get themselves high grades. Don't do that. Tell them, I like grades. Good. I'm so happy you got good grades when you did, right? Or you can even give them some award, some monetary award at home, or some small present, or some scalable system. Like every time you get an A, this much credit you get in terms of rupees or dollars, right? And then once it amounts to something, you can buy something. I'll buy something for you. But you can keep earning the credit. This way, the child knows that grades count. But they're not all important. Why? Because what you're trying to focus is that your fundamental understanding must be there. Grades will follow. Grades follow understanding. And if you just memorize and get the grades, I will test you at home. And when I test you and your fundamentals not clear, then I will clear the fundamentals if I can, or get a tutor, right? And I will let you know that you got a good grade in spite of misunderstanding or non-understanding, right? And you say, oh, that's a terrible place. I remember doing that. And you explain your error in your life when you memorized and got a good grade and how badly you paid for it later on. So the lesson has to land with your example. Okay, all right. Then, doing a job means doing it well or don't do it. This value has to be taught. And you can teach it something as simple as, let's polish your shoes. And you polish the kid's shoes. Next week, you polish it again. You make him sit down and say, this is how I do it. Third week, you do it again. Yeah. Fourth week, you say, now you do it. He polishes his own shoe. Okay. Then, if it's off, you fix it. Then, again, you do it. Then, after 10 weeks, you say, now you polish my shoes also. Teaches him how to be humble, right? And you're teaching, the idea you're teaching is, if you're going to do this job of polishing shoes, it must be done well or don't do it. So you layer this idea with practical first-hand example. And the benefit of a well-polished shoe is always visible to the wearer. So you don't have to say, oh, you did a bad job. It's clear, right? It's clear to him. He does an okay job, you say, okay. Or you say, why don't you wear that this week? Next week, I'll do it. Then you do it. And he'll see the difference, or she will see the difference, right? So they will learn that when you do a job well, the person who benefits sees it, and the person who does it, they see it. And what you're trying to show to that person is, when you polish my shoe well, can you see how well it's done? Does that feel good? Yeah. That's called satisfaction of doing a job well done. Doing a job well, that's worth living for in life. You have to reinforce that idea. And in something as simple as, especially shoe polish or vacuuming or cleaning dishes, right? Or something that is not so frequent, because in the beginning, a frequent job like doing dishes every day becomes complicated to explain how doing a job well will land. Why? Because you say you really, scrub mom's pan and she cooks the next day. It's gone. But when she puts it on the thing, she feels, oh, that's clean. Right? May not say it. But in a shoe or something else related like that, you like let's get the lint off your clothing. Right? Let's iron this pant. Something you don't do so frequently. You let me iron your pants. You'll see the difference. So you get them to experience the satisfaction of doing a job well. Similarly, in drawing something for school, some school project, right? So this idea has to be reinforced and taught. Okay, let's continue. Then, you as a parent, you need to make effort to not only understand what the child is saying by understanding what they're saying, but you also need to understand it from the child's point of view. Okay. Then you need to let the child know that I'm making an effort to understand it from your point of view. And then you say, from my point of view, this is what makes sense. And what I hear from you is that from your point of view, that other value makes more sense to you. Thank you for explaining that to me. You tell the child, even if they're 8 years old, you say, thank you for communicating that to me. Because that builds their self-esteem, that you listen to them, right? Also, they start doing empathy, meaning they go, oh, in any conversation, there are 2 points of view, and they both must be appreciated. Because you did it by saying, my point of view was this, but your point of view is this, and I learned something new, and I appreciate it. They go, oh, 2 points of view, not just one statement that I say from my point of view, that's the only meaning. People who lack empathy think, I said one thing, therefore it only has one meaning, the one I intended. And they go, if you don't understand that, you are being obtuse. Right? That's what that person thinks. Instead of saying, oh, every sentence can be understood in 3 ways. Which way did you understand? And if you didn't understand the way I meant it, let me refresh, re-say, re-explain, because I own that. The speaker owns what the listener is understanding to some level of effort. After that, if they still don't get it, you say, I'm sorry. I tried. I'm unable to explain my point of view because of my limitation. Because ultimately, you still own it, right? But you cannot make everybody understand everything. So what can you do, right? So you make some reasonable effort and then you say, it's my limitation. Can't do any better. So this conversation must be happening between parent and child, because children need that when they grow up in their teamwork everywhere else, this empathy. Right? Okay. Then, this one is so important. You as a parent need to teach the child the idea of experimentation, failure or success. What does that mean? That means the kid says, let's do this. And you say, oh, that's not going to work. Instead of saying that's not going to work, you say, so what are you trying to accomplish? Oh, I'm trying to do this way. Like, for example, my bike tire has a flat. Okay, what are you trying to do? Let's repair it. Okay. Do you know how to repair it? Yeah, I'll look it up. And they look it up on some YouTube, and they look up for a different kind of bike. All kinds of bikes, all kinds of tires. There are tires with tubes, there are tires without tubes. Right? So, first shot, he comes up with some idea how to repair it. And you can see it's not going to work. At least it needs a little bit more knowledge. So don't begin with the negative. You say, that's going to be a good experiment. Let's do that. How can I support you? How can I help you? Let's do it. You lead, I'll follow. And you establish the mindset of an experiment. And it fails at the end, you go, oh, it didn't work out, that one. Let's go back and read again. No problem. I so much enjoyed working with you. That was so much fun. I think we are learning so much together. Then you go back and watch another YouTube or whatever it is you need to do, figure it out. Next time it comes out better, right? But say you watch the right YouTube, right? And it's a tube tire, and you put the patch on, and after 4 days it goes again. Same spot, the patch falls off. Then you say, oh, I wonder what we did wrong. Oh, we didn't use that grate to grate the tire surface off and the patch surface by making it rough so that the epoxy would be really adhering, because we took the grease and the other layers off by actually putting abrasion on the surface near where the puncture was. Micro-learning, we forgot. Let's try it this time now. Try it again. It's better to fix a tire twice and learn experimentation than to get it right first time and think, Dad is so awesome.
When you talk about that, my boys grew up as Boy Scouts. They were in Boy Scouts like yours too. And this is what I think the good leaders, the good Boy Scout leaders
were
doing this, was first showing, and then they would let them do it themselves. Right. And then in that way, they would also learn and find out, okay, where is the
awesome.
people.
So that's now here's where you as a parent kick in. You have to do the same thing in teaching math and physics. say you run into a difficult question in math or physics. Then you say, how are we going to do this? And the kid says, oh, I know why. I know how. And they come up with an idea how to solve that math problem. And you can see that's not going to work. And then you allow them to.
Okay, go through that process by themselves.
And with you.
Okay.
You say, how can I help support you? You do the support. You don't do the lead thinking.
Okay.
Then when it doesn't work, you say, what did we miss? And even though you may know what's wrong, you help them say, let's go back to the beginning, chapter 1 or beginning of this chapter, chapter 4, see what it says. And you can see the fundamental knowledge that is needed to solve that question is given in one of those paragraphs. You can see it. So you say, let's go back and read there. You read it there with them and you just go, okay. Does that make sense? You go, yeah, that makes sense. Now you read the most critical sentence that you needed, but you read it casually. Read it. And then you come back and you read the question again. You say, we must be still missing something because the kid didn't pick up that's the right. Let's go back. You read it this time. I'll hear. Maybe that'll help. So you do this experiment until the kid can pick up what's missing. If he doesn't pick it up, then you say, I wonder how else. Then he has a second bad attempt. Go for it. Third bad attempt. Go for it. You're trying to get the kid to understand that when you run into a challenge, the answer is in the book and you are going to find it. Not me. Not me. So the kid learns that the experiment is, whenever I have a tough problem, I go back and read the beginning of that chapter, beginning of that book. I keep rereading until I can connect the two. And I have the confidence that I can get there by myself. Once he gets this idea formed in his head, we move on to the next topic. Teach experimentation.